guys, hello! Brand new episode of Pickups. Got some real good stuff for you this week. First of all, I would like to thank all the new people who subscribe to my channel. I think about 10 people, and now we're at 80 subscribers, yay! Only took me 4 years. So the first thing I got, I bought this early September, but I waited to get it shipped to Belgium for no apparent reason, because I knew I was gonna get taxed and I hated it, but in the end, one day I had to ship it to Belgium, and that is the SEGA Mega Jet, which is actually just a regular Mega Drive, but it was designed to use on an airplane, so you could rent it on Japan Airlines flights. Later on they released it also in stores. This one was sold as junk for 60 euros, which is pretty cheap for this item. I had to pay 30 in tax when it arrived to Belgium, so I paid around 100, but it's absolutely in pristine condition, so that's quite nice. You have to use the Mega Drive 2 power supply and RGB cable. So this is actually just a Nomad without a screen. I think it's pretty neat. I guess I'm gonna collect all of the SEGA Mega Drive variants, because I have so many already. Still need a lot of multi-megas, CDX, the Wonder Mega, the Nomad of course. Damn, too many systems, probably won't collect them all. I had this Star Wing competition card, and it's actually, I found it in my first episode of 16-Bit Gym, so I'll put a little snippet in here, but you can go back and watch my very first episode. You see that I found a Star Wing competition card for 15 euros at the flea market, and somebody on Facebook was looking for one, and he said, I'm willing to pay good money for it. So I said, well, I prefer to trade for games I actually want. And he said, well, there's this retro game store, retrogamingfun.be, and you can choose a game from there. And I said, well, let's go for some games, because he said an amount. And I just bought some really expensive games with that amount. Games I would normally never ever pay for myself, but because somebody else was actually paying for them, I chose these games. In total I paid 15 euros for the lot, because I paid 15 euros for my Star Wing competition card. First up, Pocky Rocky for the SNES. Been wanting this game for a very long time. Absolutely miserable to find it anywhere cheap. Gargoyles Quest 2. Ghouls and Goblins is one of my favorite series, or Ghouls and Ghosts. I only played the first Gargoyles Quest on the Game Boy, of course. This one is the second one on the NES. I have a Japanese version of this game, but there's a lot of text, so it's not really playable on the Famicom. So I gotta have that one. It's more expensive, the PAL version, than the US version, I think. And last but certainly not least, the Dracula's Quest, Castlevania Dracula's Curse. For the NES. This is the USA version. The label is absolutely minty. Had to clean it a ton before it would work, however, which is a shame coming from a store, I think. Yeah, I expected more of this game. I mean, people always hype it up, but I think it's really similar to the first game, which is an amazing game, but this one is 3 years later or something, so I had expected more from it. But it's cool, I've played it a lot this week. And then you probably remember me buying that very first SEGA model in the SEGA SC3000. I picked up some games for it from Japan. These were not even 20 shipped to Belgium, so not the best titles, but pretty cheap. And I needed some games to test. Championship Golf, Tennis, which is really basic. GP World, which is a cool racer game. And then the best game in the lot in my opinion, but I'm a shooter fan of course, Zaxxon. So I'm gonna make a separate video with the SC3000, but my SCART cable is not completely right yet. The image still flickers, so I need to work on that. When that's finished, I'll show you guys a separate video with the SC3000. So it's been a very long time that I've been able to go to the Friday market. The Friday market is a local market where you have to bring your stuff in the morning, and they sell it by bidding. And by 2 o'clock the market is finished, and everything that's still left on the ground goes into the trash. So a lot of it is junk. A lot of it is from people who had died previously and didn't have any relatives that wanted to clean up their house or something. And I had a day off last Friday, so I thought, why don't I go to the Friday market? I used to go there every week during my lunch break, but those days are gone. So one of the first things I saw was this. It's the Philips transportable, not portable, transportable photo CD player, which is a really cool item. It was also released by Apple as the Power CD, I believe, so you could also hook it up to a Mac. You cannot hook up this version to a Macintosh. It's a really cool and heavy CD player, and you can also use it to play photo CDs on your TV. One of the very cool things about it is also that it's actually made in Belgium. And this one, the box is not pristine, but the system itself looks like it has hardly ever been used. So it has a stand like this, and so you can put it and connect it to your TV and CD player. I'm gonna hook it up in my game room because I have a lot of consoles that can play audio CDs, of course, but not this separate CD player, and that's nice to have, you know. I also found Game Boy Advance. It's in pretty scruffy condition, but it works. I'm probably gonna use this one to mod it with the Game Boy SP screen, because I love the design of the first GBA, but you know, the screen is pretty terrible. I also got a full bag of Legos. Not gonna show you all those, but one of the main sets that was in there was this Christmas set, so I'm gonna build it and put it around Christmas. So also got one of these Pokemon thingies, 2 of these connectors, wireless connectors for the GBA, a regular GBA link cable, and a stack of children games. As you may know or not know, I have a boy coming up, so he's gonna have a lot of fun playing these games. Lego Island 2, Musti, Skipper and Skido 4, Pyjama Sam, Put Put. The cool thing about these games, they're all for very little children, but they all, Freddy Fish, play on very old Macintoshes. So I'm gonna make for my kid a separate Macintosh with a built-in screen where he can play all these old school children games on. Put Put, and another Put Put. So for the GBA, the Poke thingy, the CD games, and the bag full of Legos, which are a lot of Legos, I paid €9. So 13 spin in total, not a bad deal at all. So a couple of days ago I went to the FNAC, which is a bit like Best Buy or Walmart over here, with only multimedia, of course. Picked up this really cool wired controller for the PS4, which is also working on my PS3 for €15. It's no longer in the box. And then 2 X-Bone titles, Deadlight Director's Cut for 6 and Recore for 8, which are excellent prices, I think. Don't have an Xbox yet, but I'm guessing I will buy one very soon. Prices are really going down on the older systems, and I really want to play Cuphead. I'm debating just buying the PC version, but I just prefer consoles to PC, so we'll see. And I still have a €150 coupon, so with that deducted, I can pretty much get a Xbox. In January it will be sales, I'll be getting an Xbox for real cheap. So these are my pickups from the last 2 weeks. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you later. Bye.